you are.
There we are.
How's it going, Harry?
Yeah, very well, Shannon. How are you?
I am doing well. Thank you for everyone who's tuning in. This is our 5th episode of Checked Out. We are really racking up a whole series, which is really exciting. So for those who are new to Checked Out is brought to you by Relay Commerce. It's hosted by Harry, Eric, and myself, who are all former partner people from different places, and we all found ourselves working under the same umbrella company, which is really exciting. So we figured we'd, share our war stories together, get a little bit real, and give you a glimpse of what our day-to-day looks like in the partnership realm of Shopify e-commerce. We have a little bit of a strange format, as you may know, but essentially we have a surprise guest joining us every week. And one of us knows who the surprise guest is. This week, Eric knows. The other two of us do not know. So we're usually blindsided by who's brought onto the podcast, which makes for good conversation and often banter and a lot of laughs. Hopefully you find this equally as, entertaining, equal parts entertaining and valuable at the end of the day, because usually we have some solid e-com veterans on this podcast. In terms of the cadence, we typically host this on the last Friday of every month, hence Checked Out. Everyone's checked out on the last Friday of every month. However, it's Thursday. And Harry, it's your fault. Why are we hosting it on Thursday? Where are you going? What are we doing?
Yeah, I hope my cousin Will isn't watching this, but I'm surprising him with his stag. So I'm taking him away to Dublin, and then we've got a stag, i.e. bachelor party. Stag is what we call it over in the UK. So yeah, taking him to Dublin. That's happening tomorrow. We're going to be up early, drinking pints of Guinness at the airport, making a nuisance of ourselves. We're going to the hurling championship. We're going to the Gaelic football championship. We're going to the pub crawl. We're going to the Guinness factory. We're doing just island maxing, basically.
That sounds like an absolute buzz. How many guys are there? How many people are in your group?
It's quite a small crew. It's I think it's 5 of us. So that makes things a little bit easier. But one of the really fun things is we were trying to think of what to dress him up as. And there's like a bit of a
is that common?
It's common, but it's like very just I really don't like it as a concept when just like a 35-year-old man it gets forced to dress up as like a ballerina and just kind of taken around town. It just means you don't get in anywhere. He doesn't enjoy it. It's just all like a bit of a mess. So what we're doing this time, which I think will be more fun, is we're all each person has been assigned like a item of clothing, and we've all just gone to a like charity shop, like thrift shop, and we're all just trying to buy him just some weird clothes to wear.
Love
basically. So I've actually got his shoes here. Just bought him some kind of these, which I picked up today for 35 euros. Still got the mud on them. These like
he's gonna love them. Yeah.
Like I'm starting to actually kind of warm to them and not want to give them away, especially in the shit. Actually, so
it'll be the brotherhood of the traveling Tims before you know it. Everyone will just
exactly. Wouldn't be a bad thing.
Passing it down.
So
that's hilarious.
So that's why I've got him, but I think the others have probably gone a bit more intense with some of their things, I think. And I think the guy that I put on accessories, my friend Henry, he said he spent £100 on accessories in a charity shop. So I don't know what's going to happen, but he's going to be paraded around Dublin, but hopefully we'll still get into places because he's just going to look like a very badly dressed person rather than someone who's in fancy dress, which is a fine line between the two. Yeah.
I love to see it. Yeah, I think that is way better than just kind of like the embarrassing route of ballerina. One of my favorites, though, I will see, is that it was a trend over here in terms of the bachelorette parties, was the group would just dress up like old women, just go downtown. Like it was actually quite convincing and then very funny because when you find old ladies with walkers going to like the club at 2 a.m. It's always kind of funny. The juxtaposition
I love it.
Great.
Yeah, that is good.
That was a fun one. And then on the note of Gaelic football, this is actually a fun fact. There's like a small park like 2 streets away from where I live. And there's always there's all age groups of Gaelic football happening. And I guess there's some sort of league that happens. And I think they start at age 4 So I'm like, I got to
Yeah,
get Finn in there before we know it. But I don't know
exactly.
any of the rules, but it looks fun.
I don't have a clue what's happening. I don't
Yeah.
know any of the rules, but we're watching like the under-20s national final in hurling and in Gaelic football. I think it's at a huge rugby stadium
Amazing.
in Dublin, in Croke Park. So I don't have a clue what to expect other than like people hitting each other with sticks and some mud,
Probably. Yeah.
maybe. I'll take either of those.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
it's going to be a blast regardless.
Yeah.
So to address the elephant in the room, or actually not in the room, Eric is on his way. He's currently finding a quiet coffee shop to join us. So you'll see Eric before you know it. But we can start to kick things off in terms of Harry. How was your week? What did you speak to any interesting brands this week?
Yes, we've had. Who have we been speaking to? Let me just check my my calendar. Yeah, we've had some supplements brands come in recently who are looking to kind of juggle Shopify and Amazon. Obviously, I think it's great for distribution being on Amazon, but then getting any of that data into Shopify is like where the real gold is for a lot of brands. So that kind of transition across those two channels is super important. So that was a kind of interesting conversation. Spoke to a gin company, also very interesting, especially for package protection, because obviously if you're shipping a lot of glass around, if you're breaking those glasses, it can just destroy your margins. So that was kind of interesting to have the SafeBuy team, one of our relay commerce products, in there as well, talking about how we could help with some churn. Sorry, not with some churn, with some package protection. Yeah, there was also a couple of other apparel companies. Got a really good hair care brand that I'm speaking with in a bit. All really the same themes. They want recurring revenue. They want to know how they can increase their average order value, and then just increasing top line revenue with that as well. As long as it's increasing the customer experience levels, then happy days. So we're doing quite a lot of like multi-solution selling at the moment.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of, bridging the gap between Amazon and D2C more and more, obviously for obvious reasons. Curious in your realm, in terms of like life cycle marketing as a whole, do you see a lot of brands trying to kind of any customers coming in through like the Amazon channel? Is there any sort of like life cycle tactics or techniques that people are trying to use to get them back over to D2C, where they have a little bit more control over that customer experience? Or what are you saying?
Yeah, it's very hard. That is just the kind of $1 million thing that they all want to do. So yeah, ultimately one of the biggest challenges is understanding if someone's purchased in Amazon, if there's a way that you can get that to then be recognized within Shopify, just so you can be timing flows and things at the right time. That candidly is just very hard. So yeah, no, it's not really an area we touch on. We're more just on the straight email strategy, whereas that kind of falls more under the e-commerce strategy, I would say. So yeah, not something we've looked into hugely, but Peel Insights, which is our analytics solution, we have been massively improving the Amazon connector there. So we'll be able to see more reports about what's happening over in Amazon, more reports then you can compare to what's happening in Shopify. So then you can have a bigger holistic view of what's happening in the business. So more on that to come in the next few months, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of great things to come there, especially in terms of like specific cohort analysis that you can essentially like export from Peel and then take exactly even more of that bridged approach to try to get more of the customers over into your regular D2C channels. In my neck of the woods, one of the friends that I spoke to was Gigawatt Coffee. I have they sent me some, can you see this? Producer Olivia taught me that if I put my hand behind the product, you can see it. But they're an incredible company. I'm like their biggest new fan. So essentially, curated coffee roasting. But it was a couple who had met via work, I believe. They're both private investigators, which is pretty cool in its own right. But essentially, they were going about their day, kind of feeling like there was a new chapter to be had. And Eli was he's very passionate about coffee roasting, and ultimately decided like, let's just take the leap. And he and Jen essentially just started Gigawatt without any like prior e-commerce background, any marketing. Eric, how are you?
We got it
Let's
done.
go.
There he is.
I did
The
it.
data shaman is here.
Sorry, guys.
Um,
That was a bit of a problem solving. Sorry,
No.
producer Olivia. My bad. I'm here though.
Any excuse to get some more cycling mileage into your legs.
Yeah, I got like an extra 2, and there was
Yeah.
definitely an uphill, which was,
I was going to say, how much
Well-
elevation?
I don't know, probably 150. Who knows?
Awesome. We were just diving into our week and who we were talking to. I mentioned that I was chatting with a brand by the name of Gigawatt Coffee, who essentially, you know, is a great story in terms of just like betting on yourself, you know, and winning. Essentially, they decided to, you know, quit their day job and launch Gigawatt coffee roasters. And I think they had their business plan set up. Everything was underway. And a week before they planned to launch, COVID hit. And they just had to like pivot their entire strategy and ultimately found themselves in farmers markets, which gave them like a true community to kind of bounce ideas off of, pressure test, get feedback, and then go to market in a more, you know, data-driven way. And they've seen, you know, a ton of success ever since. And recently we were chatting with them just because they were trying to grow the subscription side of their business. But again, I'm their biggest new fan. So you'll hear a lot about Gigawatt coming from me because the coffee is excellent. How about you, Eric? Can you talk to anyone interesting this week?
Did I talk to anybody interesting? I mean, I feel like everyone's interesting, but I think the one company I like the most is Baked Bags.
Okay.
Baked Bags is like a THC brand, but one of their operators, his name is Jake, and he's really into music and stuff. So me and Will Jones, everyone is the founder of Say Bye, loves music. He's kind of got me into music pretty deep, and I know Harry is the music guru, the music shaman, you could say. But yeah, I got to chat with them, and they have a unique business. We're getting to do a lot of work with them on the peel side, doing some work on the Say Bye side. So it's just really fun, honestly. Have conversations like that. I'm trying to think.
Is Jake
Outside of
also
that,
a jam band guy?
he's not a self-proclaimed jam band guy. Like,
Okay.
just to give you like background,
Too
like
bad.
somebody saying they're into jam bands is like very like people don't want to, even if they are, like they almost like don't want to be like, oh well, like I'm not a jam band guy, because like typically that gets associated with like drugs, or like somebody saying they're a fish head. It's like, oh, you do a lot of drugs, when there's plenty of fish heads that don't do drugs. But it's like people are very careful to like claim jam band.
Okay.
So yeah, I know he likes jam bands, but he's more into like probably Harry, more of your style, you know, some Tame Impala energy.
Yeah, nice.
Eric?
We lost him. It's the
Lost
last we ever heard of Eric.
All right, we can jump into our first segment. So I think, producer Olivia, do we have a screenshot of the Shopify? I don't know. Shopify recently launched just some data around sales across the platform, and in terms of like summer's coming down the pipe, which categories have seen like a massive jump. And just to go down the list real quick, some of the categories are like yard maintenance saw a massive growth with like wagons and grass edgers and things like that, seeing like over a 600% increase. And we have like outdoor pet products, pool products, and golf seasons. So what are you guys gearing up with this summer? What are some of the products that are on your radar that's gonna like get you through the next couple months?
Harry, would you like to start?
What do you mean products that I'll be using throughout the summer?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Or any like exciting?
What I have done, which is actually very exciting for me, is I've taken all my old DJ stuff back to brought it out to Portugal. This is my stuff that's been in storage for like 10 years. So
That's
product
awesome.
wise, it's just going to be a ton of cables that I've got to buy basically, because they seem to have disappeared. So cables for that. I'm going to have to get back into CDs, because I've just got old CDJs. They don't even have a USB thing. So I'm going to have to buy loads of CDs again. I'm going to have to buy a CD burner. In terms of CPG brands, what do I need to buy? I lost my beloved Hydro Flask that I've had for 10 years. Yeah, the big one covered in stickers. I got so attached to that thing. I bought it in Yeah, 2016. Rest in peace. Lost it on the plane the other day, so I'm gonna
I was gonna say
have to buy a new one. Might
that
go into
hurts.
Yeti, thinking I might stick with a Hydro Flask though. Open to any recommendations, but big moment. That's why I'm drinking
That's a tough one.
this at the moment, which is just not the vibe at all.
That's a tough one. Eric, do you have preferences over Hydro Flask, Yeti, Stanley? What kind of guy are you?
I'm kind of
Not a
like,
water
hey,
bottle guy?
I'm kind of like, hey, can I get a sip out of yours? I mean,
Bum a sip out of someone else's
I'm
bottle.
definitely like, I have water. But they're always like some co-branded like Shopify SaaS company that
It's like a
raised,
merch. Yeah.
that raised like $10 million. And like, we're gonna buy a bunch of marketing branding stuff that like doesn't do anything for the company, but like I get to drink water out of it. So like I've got a couple. I have a Stay AI one.
Okay.
Nice.
There you
I got
go.
a
Is
Stay
it
AI one.
Yeti?
I don't know. I'm so focused on the Stay logo. I guess they did a good
There you
job.
go. Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
that
probably
one
a
is-
chili one, I imagine.
Mm.
Chili's usually the brand that they do all the like corporate branding on.
Yes. So yeah, I tend to. I don't know, man. I'm not like materialistic, believe it or not. I mean, it's funny because all we do is like help people sell products. I've sold products online, and literally I don't shop ever. Like I hate shopping. So it's kind of funny. That even boils down to like this. I think I've had this for 8 years. This was gifted to me. My shorts were gifted to me. In my chacos I have on, I think $5 at a random town. So yeah, that's and this actually, shout out to Tapcart. Back in the day, I don't work for them anymore because I started Shared Sweeps after and I quit. But I got this Tapcart codependency backpack.
Nice, that's good. Good stash.
Speaking of like raising money and spending money on stuff, so this is what they decided to spend money on when I was there, and I've had it for 4 years. It's gone everywhere. So yeah, that's all my gear. But yeah, I guess one thing on my end, I'm excited for Malbin and their summer launch and collection. I play a bunch of golf and stuff, so I think it's funny to see like all the southern, white guys dressed in their quarter zip, 3/4 zip or whatever, and their collared shirts and stuff. And I like to dress otherwise. So if I actually do spend money, it's typically on golf, and it's stuff like this. Like this head cover is insane.
The head cover is awesome. I love that.
That's how I'm trying to be like Friday at 3 p.m. Like
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what I'm looking for. So yeah, that's what I'm excited for. I'm getting a hydrofoil. It's basically one of those little like wakeboard, surfboard things, but it sticks out of the water. So you can like ride above the water. I did a bunch of hydrofoiling in Georgia. So I'm going to be doing more of that, but it's a self-propelled. It's not motorized, Harry.
Oh, so you have to pump your legs like repeatedly. They look so hard. Dude, oh my God.
But it's like getting in is the hard part. And then the whole theory of we have like a whole group of guys. We're going to start doing this at Lake Dillon in Colorado, but we're going to have hand kites. So like basically we're going to run in, pump, and then we're going to be handed a hand kite, and then it'll just like take you off. And it's strapped in. You can like pull it up and stuff and bring it out of the water.
It's gonna be crazy. Insane.
So do you get like a certain height? Like do you just bail out? Like how does this work?
It's not like kite surfing because it's a hand kite. So like it's like inflatable. I don't even know how to explain this. It's basically an inflatable triangle. Think about it that way, like a wing.
Okay.
It's a wing, right? Yeah.
And it launches.
Yeah.
It launches. And like Lake Dillon is in between a huge set of like the Gore Range, which is like 13,000 feet mountains, and it comes down like probably 3,000 or 4,000 feet. So everything gets funneled into this like reservoir, and so the wind just
very cool. So very nice. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for the education. I didn't know anything about the sport. This is.
I have so many random things.
Very cool.
Like I was in Paonia, Colorado, seeing a jam band at this orchard a couple weeks ago, and I went to this vinyl shop, and he had a Ben Hogan golf bag from like the 70s, and it's like vintage. And so I actually bought that for the summer, which is pretty exciting. So yeah, a lot of what I'm planning on product wise for the summer. I guess Shopify called out the golf stuff, but for me, it's like toys and gadgets.
Yeah, very cool.
In terms of other crazy stuff, and I think we have the link here. There's been this funny trend that I've been seeing of like cigarette codes making a comeback in this thing. Like,
What?
I don't know if you guys had it when we were younger, and maybe it was a very British thing, but there was a stage where when we were kids, you'd have these like kind of
The fake
candy
cigarettes?
yeah,
We have
and you'd
them.
like eat them and pretend to smoke them. But it seems like now these brands, because like cigarettes have got such a bad just aura around them basically at the moment, especially in the UK. You're not allowed to have packaging or anything on them. It's quite funny to see these brands like zagging while everyone else is digging, and actually just like leaning into that. And this was one product that I saw, which I think is it's sleep, like sleep supplement, but basically like very much emulating being a sexy cigarette package. Basically, it's quite funny.
I kind of dig the packaging. It makes me rethink the whole repurposing of the packaging, right? Like it
Yeah, it's
works,
good.
especially for
Put it
this
in your
product.
jacket
So,
pocket. Yeah,
yeah. I feel like you
That's
can
good.
create a whole new product just by changing the format of the packaging more often than not.
yeah.
Um,
Let's just put
so-
everything in cigarette packets.
I mean, let's try it. Very cool. I think on the note of golf, I think again my product. If anyone wants to borrow my best dad by a power bag, I'm ready for it. Let me know. But circling back to the Yeti conversation, I think I have an entire drawer in my kitchen with like 20 Yetis, but I think the ones that we use the most are more so hydroflask fasts as a family.
Good to know.
But
If they're
but
good
it-
enough for the O-boils, it's good enough for me.
I mean,
There we
kind of. They're a particular bunch. I inherited the name. But on that note, I actually just was reading an article recently about the Ringo. Have you heard about this?
Nice.
I don't know. It's a water bottle that will hold your phone. I think there's like magnets or something, and it's there's more utility to the water bottle than like having a vessel. So there's a new water bottle on the market. If you're interested, go look it up. But in terms of products I'm looking forward to, one of the newer supplement products or wellness products I recently purchased was called High Note. It's like a new brand that just dropped. I think it was born out of Carrie Underwood's like Fit 52, but it has like everything you need. I just drink coffee all day every day. I really don't like eat proper nutrients in food, so this has like everything you need in it, like protein, caffeine, sugar, etc. And literally anything you need in like one cup.
Do you put that in your coffee?
No. This is like you just kind of shake it in a shaker bottle, and then like you have like basically anything you need for the day, or at least it keeps me kind of level. But there's a strawberry lemonade flavor, so that's been my kind of like summer go-to. So it's a little refreshing. So new brand launch, so figured I'd put it on our radar. And like I said, doing good things in terms of like being built out of community, and obviously there's like celebrity back there, so that's always a nice little boost in the beginning. That being said, our guest is ready. He's been backstage for quite a minute. Eric, would you like to introduce the secret guest, because he's your guest?
Yes, I'm happy to introduce the secret guest.
Do you have any clues for us?
Let me just pull up these clues real quick. Okay. Wow. So I forgot some of the clues that I even made, and these clues are crazy. So you guys are going to be excited about it. Okay. Clue number 1. It's never been to Texas nor prom. So it's been
Or
to Texas
prom.
or prom, which is sad. Maybe we can dig into that.
Never went
first,
to prom. Yeah,
Well,
maybe we
I
can
feel like
find someone.
Texas. Go ahead, Harry.
Can we find someone in the audience who can finally take him to prom or her to prom?
I'm down to go.
Yeah.
Oh, and on that note, I feel like we have it would be such a fun event if we did an ecom prom. I have like this whole thing behind it, and we do class superlatives, where it's like we kind of make fun of each other. We can get on with it, but I think ecom prom is meant to happen.
I love it. He's or they or this person.
It's a man. We've understood.
One of the first 10 people hired at Lyft's customer support team in 2013.
Ooh.
That's a huge. That's like if
Massive
you know your
claim.
If you know your Lyft
you know,
customer
you know.
support teams,
Do you know your CS people? That is gold standard.
Yeah.
it's massive. Used to spend a ridiculous amount of time making Thai curry from scratch.
What could this be?
I don't know how I would even. It's funny because I know this person, and all these are just like I wouldn't even know.
Love
and
good
it's-
time.
Eric, I'm just coming.
Oh, spoiler.
Jordan.
That's my friend.
Make us a curry, mate.
Making those Thai curries, that is called unemployment right there.
This is after the
Jordan, what's up?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Well, any and everyone watching, this is my partner in crime. So I am a data shaman. This is also another data shaman, Jordan Berg. Jordan, why don't you give us just a quick introduction and short story of what to know about Jordan? What's Gouda?
I mean, you guys already said everything. I feel like you already introed me in. I don't have to say anything more. No, but so I run CS and sales at Peel. I've been at Relay for a year. Before that, I worked in tech for a while in all different positions: ops, CS, sales, HR tech, travel tech, Lyft, all these spots. So yeah, I've been in the world a while, and then in the ecom game slightly more recently, although I've done some stuff related to ecom before this, and now it's full on, Shopify, Amazon, retention analytics, and Eric and I chopping it up, going deep with a lot of people all the time. We have a lot of fun calls. We have a lot of really silly calls, and we have a lot of just super quality, like digging into data, double data shaman duty, level calls. Like we really go hard in these on the Peel side, and we just help brands figure out who their best customers are, what's driving the most revenue, and how we can win customers back from there, so you can figure out how to allocate marketing spend.
We were talking about our favorite, conversations from the week, Jordan. I think this is off script, but I know ours as together was Sam Sutton at Oasis Snacks. I mean, talk about the most insane human being in the best way possible. That guy. You want to just run us down? Who is Sam Sutton? Like,
dude, I wish we could bring Sam in here. We got to get Sam as the special guest next time he does podcasting. He would be the best podcast guest because
Let's do it.
He would do it too. He would.
100%. Dude, yeah. Sam is the man. In New
Tell
Jersey
us more.
as well.
Oh, he is?
Oh yeah.
He's in Jersey. He turns out he's his whole family, huge fans of Gene Autry, and he knows my last name. I'm like, yeah, I'm the last, one in the tree. He's like, actually, yeah. And he started doing this whole story of how I think it was his grandpa or something, or great grandpa, or it must have been his grandpa. Was getting bullied for being Jewish, and Gene Autry helped him deal with the bullying and all this stuff, and they have paintings on the wall of Gene, and Gene is their guy, and so we were nerding out. But he's from Jersey.
Small world.
He's from Jersey. He's the man. This guy is awesome. Olivia, producer, we can definitely put that on the docket. I can't believe I didn't even think of that. That was a genius idea, Jordan.
It would be the best podcast we ever do at this company. Sam, literally, the first time I spoke with him, we did a Peel demo 2 weeks ago with him, and I mean, he was in the studio, and he was telling me yo, I'm in the studio right now. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? What brand are you with? He's like, no, I'm in the studio, dude. I'm recording a podcast in 10 minutes. We're bringing in old Yankees announcers and all kinds of players. I think he mostly does baseball and hockey, I want to say. I think those are his focuses. But that's how things started off. And every time Eric and I get on a call with him, we have so much fun. This guy's awesome. He runs a sick brand called Oasis Snacks. They provide all kinds of boutique DTC snack solutions and brands for hotels, business groups, offices all over the tri-state area. And Sam, he brings it. Next podcast guest for sure. Eric, Harry, you're gonna lose it when we bring Sam in.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Bring Sam through.
Yes.
Sign him up. He sounds multifaceted in the best way, and if he's from Jersey, I'm already gonna love him. So
he is very multifaceted. The guy is an absolute legend. Anyway.
Amazing. Before we get into the bulk of the conversation here, Jordan, we have a bit of a ritual here. also called a segment, rapid fire questions, which we've kind of put all of our secret guests through. So, Harry, do you want to kick off rapid fire questions this week?
Let's go. Okay, Jordan, 5 a.m. run club or 2 a.m. in the club?
I know this one. I know this one.
Whoa.
I know this one. Also, he does like a little run though.
It's rapid, but
He's even running.
like any good CS or salesperson, I have to get more context. Where are
Oh, you tell me, dude. You're the one running or at the club.
my guy? I'm the guy running in the club.
Oh, that's the answer. That's the salesman.
So
All right.
I'll take it back. I'll give you a little context to that. So I lived in Berlin for 3 years. So yeah, 2 a.m. vibes to lighten that up for sure. But actually, what I used to do is even better than that. I would kind of split the difference between the 2 a.m. Club and 5 a.m. run. So I would make like this huge ass breakfast, put it in a Tupperware. I would, just big Tupperware, like this big, and I would bring it to the club because the clubs there are open the whole weekend. So I'd show up at the club at 7 a.m., rested, full sleep, bring my huge breakfast in a Tupperware. They let me in, like I knew them, so like whatever, they didn't care. They had a big outdoor area. So it's not just some dank like dark club. They have I think this kind of light club room, and then outside there was this big garden, super nice. I would just bring the breakfast and be eating that. And there'd be people walking out at like 9 in the morning. They'd be partying for 14 hours, and they would just be like staring at me. I could tell that they wanted it, but they couldn't process it. They were really struggling.
Man, that's the best answer.
Yeah, I
It's incredible.
We've had. You're a weird guy, Jordan. That's why I like you, dude. All right, one metric that actually tells a shop nothing, or is less important than they think it is. So you talk with a ton of brands. Like, what's a metric that people talk about that actually should just be chopped?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I mean, I think like all metrics can be painted in a way to tell a story, and each forms a part of a brand's importance and what they're doing. I would say an overrated metric is maybe this might be a bit heady, but like maybe just number of new sales. So new customer sales, it's super important. Acquiring customers is key, but a lot of times what I look at being on the retention side and also thinking about customer loyalty is returning sales. Who's coming back and repurchasing from our brand? I think something that I notice in, I'd say 2/3 of the calls that I do with brands is that they're entirely focused on new customer acquisition. But then once they get these customers going into their brand and thinking about repurchasing, they don't really have a lot of retention processes and systems built out. So what I do is I focus a lot on the returning side. What's driving people to come back? Do they have subscriptions? If they do, that's a pretty easy win. But for a lot of brands that don't have subscriptions, like apparel brands, how can we get people to keep coming back? What are the variants? What are the flavors? What are the colors? What are the cuts that are bringing people, that are keeping people coming back and making people really interested in the brand? So maybe it's a slight hot take because new customer sales is key, but I want that returning customer sales. I want to know who's
those t-shirt brands. They need those flavors, dude. Flavored t-shirts. It's gonna be big.
What's the variant? What's the variant that they want?
Yes.
Yes. What's the weirdest thing that a customer's ever said to you?
I mean, we could just go back to freaking Sam on this one.
we could cut to any point first goal.
We could just go straight to Sam. Oh my gosh.
We did I think right before Eric and I logged off of a call recently with actually really big apparel brands, super cool guy running it, a friend of Eric's as well. Right before the call cut out, like the last 8 seconds of the call, the last thing that I heard him say was, "I just had Burger King for lunch."
Wait, who
that
was
was
this? Who was this?
that was Ministry, dude.
Oh, Amon.
That was the mom. So I just had Burger King for lunch. Peace. And that was the end of the call.
That's amazing. What a legend.
Jordan, what's the last thing that you bought online that you immediately regretted?
This house. I just bought this house. It's really fucking expensive. I guess technically I bought it online. I bought it through online channels, but not quite D2C, although the package protection solution being the insurance.
Yes.
Had to get a life insurance plan with this shit.
Man, you should have left the abandoned cart to get that 20% discount on there.
Yeah, I know. I should have hit you guys up first. I know. No regrets in that. My biggest regret is I'm not gonna be able to enjoy it much because I have all kinds of like work and sort of travel plans coming up. So we just moved into this new spot on Saturday, and then I'm gonna be gone basically from next weekend until mid-July, late July, August. I don't even know. So not an actual regret, but when I'll actually get to enjoy it on the nice little mortgage we're paying, we shall see, people.
Yeah. Best bang for your buck item that you've ever bought. So not necessarily expensive, but just raw value.
Okay. This isn't a DTC, but the cheap knife sets from IKEA. They're freaking good. IKEA's like any kitchenware stuff from IKEA, like the plates, whatever, they're fine. They work most of the time. But like any of the like peelers, cheap knives, the mandolin, great purchase. IKEA mandolin. It costs nothing and it's so sick. Like I cut myself on it multiple times. You gotta be careful. You said it. Amazing purchase. Also, another kit. I just think in terms of kitchen most of the time. That's a lot of the stuff that I buy. The really good graters. I forget what it's called.
Like a plane.
Yes, plane.
So they're called, for making those Thai pastes, dude.
Yes.
Okay, last one. I know, and I think we're going to talk about Peel 2.0 a little bit after this. But if Peel 2.0 had a theme song, what would it be?
Oh, good question.
You're walking out to present it on a huge global stage like Steve Jobs waving at the crowd. What song is absolutely belting out on the system?
This is great, dude.
Eric and I got to workshop this one together. You can't drop this on me last minute.
I feel like this would be like
Acting Crazy by Action Bronson.
It'd be something like that. It's like something just. I'm answering for Jordan now. Like it's over.
Please bring it in.
I feel like it would have to be something silly that nobody would ever guess. Like something just completely, because we're silly guys. We're not serious, like hardcore badasses. It would have to be something that's just like Hannah Montana or something like that. Like it would have to be just something ridiculous.
Yeah, actually, I think some kind of like Hannah Montana type track would work because a lot of people just really like the colors in Peel. Like there's just people who like fucking colors. They like nice UI with shaded cohort reports, and I feel like some kind of kidsy track that brings like pink and magenta colors to mind. I think that's really apt. So something in that.
Nice. Done. All right, that's me. Finished.
Hannah Montana it is. All right. I love it. No, this is good. I definitely want to circle back to, you said the plates work most of the time. When doesn't a plate work?
When you drop them.
Okay. And it's the plate's fault. It's never a user error.
No, it's me. They get chipped. But honestly, we're pretty good about keeping them in lock. And the knives, I'm going back to the knives, they stay sharp for a minute. Like the IKEA knife set.
It sounds like it. It sounds like they know how to run the blade. That sounds you'll have to
$20-$30 for like a trio set, or like a paring knife and a chef's knife. It'll last like 3 months, 6 months before you get to sharpen it. And that's like cooking all the time. So
on the note of sharper products, I mean, Eric, feel free to jump in here too. I think you guys have been doing a ton of work as it relates to Peel, right? So Jordan, you mentioned you've worked with Peel Insights for over a year now, right? You're coming up on a year?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over a year now. You've talked to some really incredible brands. And you're kind of identifying some key reports that they're looking at, identifying some just really core aha moments based off of those reports within these brands. But I'm just curious, like what is the impetus behind this, product refresh that we find ourselves in today?
Just that we can offer, I think the base of it is that we can offer more value to merchants who are maybe thinking a little bit less on the retention side, and make it easy to get their metrics in one place. So I think a lot of people we see are trying to piece things together, either using a different solution. A lot of people are using Claude and trying to, join that with Shopify and other source data. And I think you have to be really, really, really skilled to get it to 50% even of what we can maybe do in Peel. Like, I think what we're just trying to make it easy for people to get the data they need so they can figure out where to put their marketing dollars. I think that's really it. That's what
it's pretty incredible. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Eric.
I was just say it's pretty incredible how like Peel fundamentally doesn't have to do anything special, like in terms of crazy features that you see all the time on LinkedIn with all these companies. Like we're doing what all other data platforms can't do, what Lifetimely can't do, right? Like all we're doing is the fundamentals of clear, clean data, getting subscription data, Shopify data, POS data, getting that in one spot, and then be able to do that on a very granular level. Looking at variance, audiences, sales channels, SKUs, like just being able to do that across all that data is fundamentally simple. Like we can all kind of digest that, hearing that right now, but it's like that alone, for some reason, nobody's done. And the need and excitement around it is crazy. Like it's almost like we didn't really do anything different than what we've all already been doing the last couple of years. We've just put a lot more emphasis into it since Jordan started, and since I've come in, and now we have Luca, world-class engineer on our team, and it's like we hop on a call with a $40 million a year merchant. We make 5 reports they didn't even know were possible. It took us, one day. Like that's a crazy value prop that isn't that complicated, really, when you think about it.
I think we're really going deep into the fundamentals. Like we take the fundamental matters, which is good, clean, easy to read data, and then give merchants what they're looking for so they can figure out how to spend their money. Like that's really how I think about it. Like instead of focusing on all these like crazy bells and whistles, and yes, there will be cool bells and whistles with our new product, but it's really about answering like a few fairly simple questions. There's a lot of complicated engineering work that goes into that on the backside, but focusing on just helping brands sell more things, figuring out which of their products lead to better purchasing, more purchasing customers, more valuable products, figuring out which product expansions make the most sense and which don't. This is really what I feel like the brands that I speak with are trying to solve most. And that's what we're doing. Like everything that we're doing with this new version of Peel that we have coming out is based on the hundreds or thousands of conversations that Eric and I have with brands. Where, we're not building our own hypotheses based on our own whims or our own biases. It's really just about taking the data from what do people actually want or what are they trying to solve for, and then just doing that thing, building that and better.
And tell me a little bit more about those merchant conversations that you're referring to, right? What does, who stands to benefit the most from a product like Peel 2.0? What does that merchant profile look like?
Anyone selling their products online who wants their customers to come back and repurchase. Like we work with a lot of different brands for CPG, subscription brands. Yeah, again, a lot of supplement brands, a lot of dog food, pet food, just general food brands. But then also on the apparel side, which is a very different type of business, non-subscription, huge number of SKUs, a lot of different variants, kind of more complicated data on the Shopify side, but then less complicated in terms of the number of connectors that they have. We can help all of them out in different ways. And I think like at the end of the day, most people are trying to solve pretty much the same matters. It varies a little bit by vertical that they're in, by some of the connectors they have and apps that they use. But in general, people are trying to do the same thing. So it makes our jobs easier from a building standpoint. Because when Eric and I talk with people, it's like, want to decrease costs. We want to sell more things. We want to figure out who our customers are and what they're doing, so we can sell more things to them and provide actual value to them.
Yeah, I imagine it's more so, a question of like, let's get back to the root and the ultimate goal here. And it sounds like people come to you with like very specific, reporting requests often, right? And then I think you guys, you guys plus the new version of this product have the ability to kind of zoom out, ultimately talk to what that end goal is, and then identify not only that specific question or the answer to that specific question, but maybe 5 other ways to get there, right?
Yeah, it's funny because people come to us and they're like, we need to find this specific thing and this is what we need. Like, we need this. And I'm just like, why? Jordan's just like, why? And they're like, well, because blah, 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 blah. And it's like, actually, like, you ever thought about looking at it this way? And like, Peel is so cool with that. Additionally, a lot of people are talking about, I can do this in Claude, or, why would we use a data platform like Peel, and we could do this in Claude? And then my first question back is, can you currently do this in Claude?
Right.
The answer's always no.
They always say no. And I'm like, okay, so that's why you should use Peel, because we do something that you can't do, and I think like we're so far ahead. The founders of Peel and the original data engineers built a pretty solid foundation out the gate. So we are so far ahead in what we've built. And so this Peel 2.0, this is kind of exciting to talk about Peel like this. But like Peel 2.0 is just going to change the game, I think, for Relay as a whole and our strategy, but also just for all these, subscription brands and high repeat purchase. Just extremely excited about it. And having Jordan as a data shaman alongside is huge.
We got to get Luca, the data god, to come into a cameo at some point.
Yeah, we need to get him
for sure.
Instead of data god, it needs to be like a Greek name for what data god would be. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's got to be something different. Like, it can't be 2 words. It's got to be like 1 word. Anyway.
We'll just translate the Greek. Let's do it.
I definitely think that we'll get Rugan here and we can get him a part of the naming process. That would be exciting. But I think it's also just in terms of going back to nailing the fundamentals, right? Like, I think if you can do that, you can create what's arguably one of the most difficult things in our e-commerce orbit, which is the ability to trust your data, right? And I think if you can actually trust your data and know where that's coming from, that's what's going to ultimately drive any of your actions out on the other side of that. So, Jordan, I think before this call, you and I were chatting, and you mentioned people were literally updating their PDT live while reviewing reports on Peel. Tell me more about like some of the outcomes or outputs of the data that people are seeing. Like, how are people using the data to actually make, drive actions in their business?
Yeah, I mean, Eric and I spend a lot of time talking with merchants within one specific report, among many others, but one specific one called stochastic analysis. It's all about product bundling. What are people buying together within orders? So what are orders that contain multiple products? And for brands who either have a lot of SKUs or even don't, it can really easily surface data on what we notice, let's say 30% of customers who are buying these 3 items together are returning customers. So that opens up an opportunity to be like, okay, this variant of that 3rd item is what you guys should be pushing more. Easy. Like, that's super easy. Eric and I can jump on a call and figure that out in 3 minutes. And so I think it's easy to rely on our own biases to think like, oh yeah, everyone wants to buy a beige bag or a brown bag. But actually, it's the green bag or the purple bag that's driving more revenue and more valuable customers over time. Or maybe like in the case of the example you mentioned, Shannon, it's this flavor of supplement is this ingredient list of supplement and flavor is actually more valuable than the previous one we were using. So let's test it out. Like, let's change it to PDP live in Shopify and let it rip for 2 weeks and see what happens. It's not about making like major changes to the website, completely remapping the product, starting from scratch. It's about moving some things along at the margins, which in mass, once you have a couple 100 or 1,000 orders, makes a huge difference month over month.
Yeah,
we can bring that data in nothing.
One thing to add on to that, Shannon, it's an amazing question. Thank you for bringing that up. Is Peel can uncover like CRO related changes. So when he's talking about those variants, those are colors. Well, when you get to the product page, what variant is being shown auto already? So like you'll go to like Gymshark and it's like the purple shorts are already showing first. Well, why are their purple shorts showing first? Probably because they found out anybody that buys a purple short is worth 2x LTV of somebody that buys a gray short, right? So like things like that end up becoming CRO related changes. And then when you look at email, SMS, and everything on the retention side, now that we know purple shorts relate to higher LTVs, let's go through everyone that's bought from us that hasn't bought the purple variant of any of their products. Let's upsell them a purple variant. If they convert, we know that's going to result in way more purchases going forward from there. So it's all based on data as opposed to confirmation bias, because everyone is going to see the very obvious things because they buy a bunch of inventory on a certain product and variant, and they're like, yeah, this is our best selling product. Well, is it the best selling product because that's the most that you buy of?
Right.
Or is it the best selling product because it's actually the right product? Because when I look at the market basket, every time somebody adds this yellow shoe to their bag, they're worth 3x LTV, but you only sold 50 of those shoes because you only bought 50 of those shoes. So it's like, you should probably buy
Eric,
10,000 of those shoes.
in these conversations that you have with brands, like these are very established opinions that they have about particular things, right? How do you go about challenging those people in a way that I guess doesn't ruffle too many feathers? Is it just a case of relying on the data and letting that speak, or like how do you broach that?
Me and Jordan are very goofy in what we do just as humans. So it's a little bit of like grain of salt, I guess. Like the data is the data too. So when they see the data, it's saying what I'm saying. I don't even have to like it's no offense to them. It's really the data kind of giving them the bird, like you were wrong, you know? Also inherently people that are coming to Peel are a lot more vulnerable and they're more willing to take advice because they're coming to us about data. Whereas if they came to us about subscriptions or if they came to us about email and SMS, and then we're trying to tell them about data, they're like, well, why are you telling me about data? You don't know anything about data. When it's like the call we were on last week, me and Jordan are literally entering the call as data shamans. Like there's a little bit of like the playful side of it, but like, hey, we're not the ones doing this. Peel is its own thing that's telling us together what we should do. I also think it helps. Jordan knows how to navigate Peel really well, so people are very willing to listen. And then I've been on the brand side as well before, so I'll try to storytell a little bit of being on the brand side first before I just start throwing out a bunch of, you know, suggestions. Like I'll literally tell people like, hey, like I'd like to give you my background so you know why I think you should listen to me. Because they talk to software salespeople every day. So it's like, this is why you should listen to me. And then sometimes they're like, screw this guy, or most of the times they're, you know, excited. Good job.
I think it's key too, just that to show that we're invested in the brand. And like, yeah, we're goofy and we have a good time during the calls because otherwise we go insane. Like, you know, we don't take ourselves too seriously. And part of it is it's just actually having fun and enjoying it. And, you know, making the calls enjoyable and fun for everybody involved. But yeah, I think to a large degree, the data speaks to itself. But even with you know, the goofiness we bring in, we are serious about how we can help brands. And I think it shows that we're legit invested in them. You know, when they win, we win, and vice versa. So it's up to us to prove that value and to keep proving that value over time.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's just your pure consistency there shows the, you know, how genuine you are in that. You guys definitely take a vested interest in every brand that you talk to, and it's very clear. So I appreciate that.
You don't miss any calls. Eric and I are calendar sharks. I'll say that.
Yes, that's a fact. If you're a brand listening to this, the chances both Jordan and Eric are already on your calendar are high. So stay tuned. Also, Eric, you mentioned it's the data giving them the bird. I think that's the name of this episode. So thanks for that line. I love it. Is there any? We're pretty much at the hour. So is there anything else that you guys wanted to add before we hop off? Otherwise, we'll do a quick sign off and thank you everyone for tuning in.
Harry, you got a DJ set coming up? Like, give me the rundown. Are we like reviving? Like, I want you to run it down for me.
Trying to, dude.
Yes.
I went to my friend was DJing at a wedding recently, and I helped him a little bit with just some, because I used to DJ when I was back in London, and then I was like, man, I need to just do this again. It's so much fun, just like building the sets, getting everything all ready. So I got my CDJs out here. Jordan's actually coming. I got a data shaman flying in next week into Lisbon. Hopefully I'll have the right cables in place. And Jordan, we can have some fun on the setup. My computer's really lagging, but I would show you on the screen. There we go.
Yes. Let's go.
So yeah, might be fun. We'll do the sunset sessions in the flat.
Seeing you at the DJ board makes me want to have a 2 a.m. more like a 5 a.m. But like just seeing that just gets me pumped up for what it's worth.
Next episode, live stream.
Yeah,
5 a.m.
So 2 a.m. in the club is rookie numbers. Let's push that to 8 a.m. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah, bring the breakfast and the
bring a
Tupperware.
breakfast as well. Yeah.
Oh, full circle, guys. Good job. All right. Well, I appreciate everyone who tuned in. Thank you all for joining today. Jordan, you're the best. Thanks for taking the time. We've taken too much of it. But as you guys know, we do this every last, typically Friday of the month. And this is checked out by Relay Commerce. You can find us on LinkedIn. Reach out to we're not hard to find. You can reach out to us anywhere. And make sure you get yourself on the calendar. Chat soon.
Thanks, guys.